が敵を食らう
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special presentation of the Owlet tournament. It is a minors game for you tonight. It is Quantum Charge versus ExPandable Odyssey. Good evening. I am your caster, Hodohori, joined by my co-caster, the Wizard of Color Analysis of the West Coast. It is Pulse. How you doing today, Pulse?
Man, where do you pull these titles from, Hodo?
I
But
think
I'm
I try to
doing
think of them like during the day if I know I'm going to be casting.
okay. So you prep beforehand, is what you're telling me. It's good
I
to know.
know. It's great, right? How you doing?
I'm fine. So far, we have a pretty good game planned out for everyone watching tonight. It's two middling teams and minors, Quantum Charge versus ExPandable Odyssey. So should be a very solid game. Both teams are about the same SR. It should be evenly matched, which is always great when you have to watch an Overwatch game.
Yeah, I sniff 5 gamer coming along. Both teams are on pretty good streaks here. Quantum Charge at 7-6 and ExPandable Odyssey 8-5. One win or loss by either side can separate the two or bring them together. So let's do a quick introduction of the teams. First off, it is going to be your first team, Quantum Charge, led by their coach Marember. So it will be as supports Salad, Evandale, and Tiskahar. Your tanks are going to be Phantom Tissue, Gleep Glorp, Iced Tea Drink. Nanorocket is listed as a flex, and on DPS it is Scoopy, Source, and The King. The starting lineup here for QC will be The King, Nanorocket, Iced Tea Drink, Metallica, who is not actually on the roster list here, which is I think an oversight on the Stage 2 roster list, Tiskahar, and Evandale. Quantum Charge sitting at 7-6 in the middle of the table here in the Minors division, and a good shot to make the playoffs here, Pulse.
Both of these teams actually have a pretty decent shot of making playoffs. They're both technically positive record if you want to count half and half, but that's a positive record. But it's very possible for these teams to both end up in the top, or definitely for them to end up in the postseason. So keep an eye out for them and don't underestimate them, because you might find yourself on the receiving end of a loss if you do.
Yep, absolutely. And let's introduce the members here of ExPandable Odyssey. Sitting at 8-5, coached by Frost and Half Fiber, it is going to be Darlis, Rippin' Pickman, and Click Clack here for your supports listed. Tanks are DC, Jax, Melchizedek, and Eevee, and your DPS is Seguli, Trimatar, and Bossface. Your starting lineup here for the ExPandable Odyssey, it's going to be Seguli, Trimatar, Melchizedek, Jax, Darlace, and Rippin' Pippin. ExPandable Odyssey here is part of the ExPandable organization, Pulse. They've got a hand here both in majors and in minors, and they're doing really well here in the minors division.
And most of the stuff that we were saying for Quantum Charge kind of also applies, where it's a little bit better record, but again, these teams are both posed for playoffs. They're around the same SR. They're both in that region of the minors division where a win or loss could make them. So neither of them really want to take that loss. Both of them are going to want to come into this game with everything they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the maps that they're going to be playing today. It is your Stage 2 Week 2 map lineup. So if you didn't see it yesterday, you're going to see it now. It's going to be Nepal, Route 66, Horizon, Blizzard World as your fourth escort map, and it will be the tiebreaker on Busan. Interesting lineup of the 2CP maps, I mean, of the assault maps, excuse me, of Horizon, which is a sort of a slower sort of map where it is going to be dominated by certain configurations, and then Control of Nepal and Busan are really, really fun to watch. So, interesting map lineup. Your thoughts, Pulse?
This is a minors game, so while it might not have as prevalent goats meta, because again, this is the region where a lot of players want to be playing for their strengths rather than always picking the optimal composition for higher level. So I expect us to see a little bit, especially on maps like Horizon, where it's just very well favored even before goats triple triple is a thing.
Hmm.
But other than that, Busan, Nepal, even Route 66, a lot of them have these wide open areas where you can take advantage of a lot of DPS. And by looking at the team cards and seeing who's playing, we have a lot of people that like to play Tracer in today. We have a lot of people that like Genji and some weird DPSs. So I really hope we can see some teams pull out some unique stuff tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just take a look at how the standings started here on Monday. Minor standings started off with Flashpoint here and Otter Oxide tied at 10 and 2 at the top of the table. You see where Quantum Charge and Expandable Odyssey sit. Expandable Odyssey now with an 8 and 5 record, picking up a win here yesterday, and Quantum Charge also picking up a win. Quantum Charge sitting in sixth place, which is not where they want to be. They want to win here to start separating themselves from the rest of the table. Echo 6 is desperately needing a win, so they want to climb up. Blazing Pegasus also with their new lineup sort of free falling a little bit, so it's going to be a tight run here towards the end of the minors division. Once you get into week 3, week 4, games are going to really tighten up between the two.
Yeah, for sure. The whole middles division, all of them are just one win, one off, one win or one loss off from each other. So it's going to be some really exciting as the stage starts to play out and gets close to the end, because there's going to be likely 4 or 5 teams vying for that playoff spot.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a fight here to the finish, especially here in the minors division. Looks like both teams now are going to be ready. We're going to head into Nepal. So buckle your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Oh my god.
So
Anyway,
I could have gone all, short round from Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom. Hold on, lady, we go for a ride.
oh my god.
He was my
Oh,
favorite
you're
character.
really showing off your age a little bit there, Hono.
Well, I
But
know.
it looks like the first map of Nepal that we're going to be loading into is Sanctum. So a lot of teams really like that pulled pork combo, the Orisa Hog here. Winston also being still pretty popular. This is the one where that triple triple really tends to fall off a lot. So I hope to see these teams really pull out that pulled pork. Like, especially, it's one of those tank synergies. It's really, really easy to pick up once you just know what to look for. So it's really effective, and it also lends itself to a lot of environmental kills here, which is always fun to see someone just full health plop in the deathless pit.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It looks like here, Quantum Charge, looking like the team that they will go with the full port combo is Iced Tea Drink and Metallica here. Looking like they're about to lock up the Orisa Hog combo. It looks like Melchisi, though, on the side of Expandable Odyssey, along with Jax, going with the Diva Reinhardt and going with the full Goats comp. So interesting here. I'm wondering here if Quantum Charge maybe has a specific plan for this map on how they want to sort of do this.
You can play with it right here. A lot of teams generally prefer Winston just because of that cap. But if you're using the Lucio speed boost well and really rotating it as a team well, and you're doing it fast into this Orisa comp without eating too much from the junk and far, you can totally pull it off.
Yeah, and it looks like here, all Expandable Odyssey have just sort of wrapped all the way around and completely avoided the Orisa Hog combo, and now we're coming out from the right side, going through as both teams are playing a little bit of do-si-do here around the point, not actually going to the point here, as now they are just basically just chasing the members of Quantum Charge. Charge in from Melchisi here, will catch the Roadhog in the back, but he is by himself. The King picks up Trimatar, and the King picks up 3, as he's been the king of the air here. The Pharah doing lots of great work there, as he DMX Jax is also, Jax now just basically trying to kill himself. Oh, getting hooked right back, and slept. This is just an awful stagger. My goodness, this is just evil.
Word. That was unfortunate for Jax there. That was more or less showcasing why Ryan's a little bit underpowered on this map, and it's mostly because they started that fight by getting caught in a trap, and his entire team couldn't push forward because of it, so they had to wait, followed up by the weird charge that put him out of sight lines of his team, and the King just picked a lot of kills off of that. Just as soon as he's out, his team was all flustered and eat too much fire damage.
Yeah, as it looks like ExPandable Odyssey trying to come up with a new plan here. Saguli, though, immediately takes down Ice-T Drink, as now it looks like the Rhine from Melchizzy got thrown off, but that's not going to stop ExPandable Odyssey here. They're going to cap this point, and now it looks like Trimatar looking for blood, as he was rushing in to see if he could catch the retreating members there of Quantum Charge. Not going to be able to do so, but they get the point here, and only allow 47%, which is pretty decent on this point.
As soon as you take Trimatar off the break, he goes Reaper and just proceeds to press W through the whole team. So this is exactly what they're looking for. It was a really good opening, but they have to be really careful with this Junk Tire and Far Barrage both coming up. Both of them can be pretty deadly to the Ryan McCree Reaper combo if they're not paying attention to it.
So there's your tire right there. That's going to be chased into the sides. Going to take out Rip and Pippin here. Trimatar gets hooked right into the hole there. What a hook there from Metallica. Able to get him right in there. So now it looks like Nanorocket takes care of Melchizzy, but he actually gets blown up himself. But this fight win is going to go to Quantum Charge here, as they're going to be able to kick control, only giving up 48%. So they give up what they took in the first place. So very even matchup so far.
Yeah, Saguli needs to be really careful getting out. It looks like he will, but had the Roadhog got that hooked, it would have been a lot staggered and they would have lost some percentage. But they have a couple more changes coming in. Triamatar going to the Pharah to play counter Pharah, which is a little bit interesting. We have two Pharahs dueling without any help of a Mercy or Zed, but they're opening up with this Deadeye, which gets two.
Which is absolutely great here from Saguli. So that will open up the game here a little bit for ExPandable Odyssey. They see the writing on the wall, so people have been already sort of retreating and jumping off. The King there gets Melchizzy at the end, but it is still going to be a reset here for Quantum Charge. They're going to need to come back. They only got about 20% on that push, so basically going back and forth. Both teams here on point.
Yeah, both these teams have been more or less trading about 20 to 30% every fight. So there's no distinct advantage to come up, and they've been trading ults pretty evenly too. So they've been going off these big hooks, these combos to get one, and then every single time there's a pick, the teams just press W and clean up the rest of the team, and it's been really a big part of these fast trades on this point.
Oh, and just Jax goes into the hole, but comes right back out. Just got the boosters in time there. They've been using that sort of hook and crook combo, as it looks like Metallica is just basically keeping Melchizzy in the air, and finally the Shatter actually lands as he gets booped off the point. He must have been in the air for a good 2 to 3 seconds before he actually landed that Earth Shatter. He was in the middle of the animation and finally landed it, and the combo with the boop sends him off track. It leaves the team at 89%, but now they're going to need to run to point. Are they even going to make it back?
They should be able to touch it, just barely, but if they get stuck in this room, they actually likely will not, especially with that barrage from Triamatar picking up two before they can even get through the door.
Yeah, it looks like Metallica was trying to get through the door, unable to do so. And that is going to be that. ExPandable Odyssey here with the first map win. I don't think I've ever seen a Rhine actually suspended in real here by a Roadhog ult. He was ulted, he was nano boosted, so that means he didn't die, and as soon as he
nano boosted and pocketed by the Ana too, so it's like as soon as he pulled the hammer down, it's just you can hear "I believe I can fly" and just like Space Jam.
We're going to need to do some post-editing on with regards to that highlight. That was actually really fun to watch. So ExPandable Odyssey here with the early lead. They are going to be up 1-0 in here in Nepal, as now we go into Village. As the team now is going to be not real that many changes, but Saguli here coming here on the Pharah, on the Mei. So this is a very fun Mei map.
Dueling Mei Reaper combos right now.
My goodness. So I think there's been some stealing of tactics, as let's say Metallica gets taken down right away, and that is going to be a big loss here. So they lose their Zarya right away, and it looks like ExPandable Odyssey going to be just pushing in on Quantum Charge. The walls here are going to be annoying for both teams, as they're going to be trying to trap tanks and other players. Ice-T Drink is able to finish off Melchizzy here, so now it looks like the members of ExPandable Odyssey are going to have to fall back on point. They want to capture the point here, as Ice-T Drink is just trying to push, press the W button and see if they can actually get this point back. They do end up giving it up here to ExPandable Odyssey, but Odyssey are going to have to fall right back as they're trying to sort of reset and try to figure out what they want to do. Icy Drink takes down Jax, and now it's going to probably be an immediate retake here from Quantum Charge. It is a 12%, as it looks like Icy Drink goes down, and we've got a nano boosted Melchizzy who's going to try to push back on point. They're just basically going back and forth at this point, and now kills on the point here from Zaguli and Trimatar as they try to take back this point as they rotate again. Charge coming in from Melchizzy is going to trap Metallica behind the ice wall. There's going to be nothing that he's going to be able to do, as it looks like he's going to get moved back, and then the point is now going to be retaken again by ExPandable Odyssey. 10% trade-offs here by both teams, and finally a reset coming in.
And this has been very even so far. The teams have the exact same ults up. Both teams have more or less all of the ults, but the big difference here is Metallica has the grab, and Jax isn't nearly as close to it, about 25% off. So this could be a potential for a really huge ult fight, but I really think the team that gets the Mei Reaper off first is really going to pull through on this.
Yeah, Icy Drink there immediately gets grenaded, and now here's the Mei ult coming out here for ExPandable Odyssey, trying to see if they can catch anybody here on the other side. Not going to be able to do so. What it does is, though, is it forces a retreat, as Icy Drink actually got taken out. He was trapped on the other side of the wall, but he wasn't completely trapped. He was actually on top of it.
And it was kind of like got trapped on top, and then as the wall went down, they got frozen by the blizzard. So
yeah,
really no way to get out. And when that happens, you just kind of gotta abandon your Rhine and back up, so you don't really stall out as much as possible, which they did really well.
Ooh, big shatter there as Melchizzy was hiding behind the wall. Will catch everyone. And fantastic here as Metallica gives up the death here, and now it is back to spawn for Quantum Charge. Nano Rocket finally getting taken out. Fantastic play there. The Rhine basically just hid behind the wall pulse and just waited for the wall to come down and just boom.
Both the Rhines dropped shatter at the exact same time, though, but because Melchizzy was just sort of hiding like that, his team really got off on top, because pretty much everyone except for Melchizzy was just on the ground at that point. So they're coming in. They still have this, we see Quantum Charge still have this Blizzard. They still have the Reaper also. They could really just use this to close out a fight early if they play it well.
Yeah. As it looks like Graviton will actually catch both teams here as they decide to use them all. Looks like the dueling Reaper ults. Nano Rocket gets the best of that as he's going to be able to get 4. And now it is going to be a point team fix. Quantum Charge had to blow pretty much everything, but so did ExPandable Odyssey trying to hold that point. And now it is going to be Quantum Charge's turn. Can they hold off all the way to 100?
Both teams' ult economies are kind of in the garbage right now, honestly. Yeah, but Quantum Charge did exactly what they needed to take point. They had to match every single ult, but they're coming back as long as we see Ice Tea Drink able to match the shatter from Melchizzy, either block it or just make sure the team spreads out. If they're keeping track of that, that's really their win condition to hold on at this point for the next 50%.
Yeah, and unfortunately Melchizzy goes down here, which is what they wanted to do, isolate and destroy, which forces the rest of the members here of ExPandable Odyssey to sort of just fall back and reset here. They're going to buy themselves some, about 10 to 15% as they sort of fall back onto the point. Now it's just a matter of waiting. Which direction will Odyssey come from?
It looks like they're going to be going high ground, which is pretty standard against the Mei Reaper, because it allows them to, if they're not set up high ground, it allows them to sort of get in for free almost. They need to be careful dropping in, because both teams are going to have a Rhine Shatter, but Tishkahar has the sound barrier to block anything coming in. So as long as they can keep track of that and cancel out any shatters, they should be able to live through this.
Well, it looks like they dropped the Mei ult first, and then that Lucio ult actually came out to protect them from being extremely damaged by the freeze. As now it looks like here comes the shatter. Oh, great counter shatter there by Melchizzy, and a great grenade to follow up. He's trapped behind the wall though. Can he finish them off? Unfortunately, he only gets 2, but that might be enough, as now it is 99-99. The walls are going up, and it looks like Quantum Charge here are going to start to fall back off the point. Metallica is back here as the hamster, as the king trying to sort of hold off as best as he can. Metallica back, and the hamster is going to get blown up. Point is actually going to revert back to Odyssey here. If they win this point, they will win this map. Nano Rocket back as a soldier. He ran as fast as he could to get back here. Overtime's going to tick down, and that is going to be that. Quantum Charge could not hold that final fight, and it is ExPandable Odyssey taking the lead here in this match, 1-0.
That was a very close first fight. Both points were more or less 99-99 all the way, and each team were just trading points back and forth. Both teams were really aware of what they had to do, but were not very proactive in doing it. So a lot of their plans for each team fight came down to be very reactive, and the team more or less that was able to outlast the thing that they were looking for and get the last word off was always the one that won the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about it is it might have been in the interest of Quantum Charge possibly to not use up all of their ults on the take, because it seemed like they did use everything they had in the bank in order to take it. And then when it came down to actually taking it back, the Expandable Odyssey were just in the proper position to use their ults on the take back against Charge, as they were slowly but surely sort of taking it back and making sure that they were just building ups for the final fight. So good kudos to them. Expandable Odyssey here going up 1-0 against Quantum Charge. We're going to go now to Route 66, as I looks like both teams here are going to be in the lobby, just making sure. They're both teams here with extremely full squads, both teams with at least a minimum of 9 people on their roster. So we might be doing a little bit of subs here. So we're going to try to keep track as best as we can with regards to substitutes coming in on both sides right now. Looks like Salad coming in for Tiskahar. But there are probably going to be more substitutions for both sides here. So we're gonna go to a quick break, because I think they're going to be rotating lineups here, Pulse. We'll try to give everybody on the stream a bit of an update to see who is going to be in for the next round. Next map will be Route 66. It is going to be an escort map, so stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
The world could always use more heroes.
Match.
Alrighty, folks, welcome to Route 66. Just wanted to mention a couple of substitutions here. Salad in for Tiskahar, and on the side of Expandable Odyssey, it is Melkizi going out and DC coming in. So 2 substitutions there. Melkizi looking very good, as we were saying, as I was talking to Pulse here in the break. Maybe specifically a control specialist. I'm not maybe sure, or maybe they just want to rotate their tanks around, depending on the maps. And it looks like DC here coming in on Winston. So maybe Melkizi was a Rhine specialist, Pulse.
It's always possible. Melkizi also had a very distinct style of Rhine. He was really playing for the counter shatters every time, so it also could just be like certain map types, or it really depends on how your team operates internally. So we can guess about it all day, but there's always probably like one or two things that just stand up about it. So.
Well, you know, unless we get the coaches in here to say exactly what we're there, we're only guessing at this point. So looks like EST Drink here getting a very, very forward position, trying to see if he can time that fire strike, get some early charge here. He's not going to be able to do so. I'm interested in how this sort of Sombra Winston dive here is going to work, as it is not the non-traditional goats. Goats here being on the side of Quantum Charge, that's what they're going to be running on their side, but it looks like some changes coming in here. Looks like maybe it's floats here. Yeah, it is. On the side of ExPandable Odyssey.
All of the different types of Oats comps, but
yeah.
We're looking at a 3-3 where the Winston subs out for Ryan, and it's a little bit better on Route 66 just because Big Girls has that high ground, second point has that high ground, third point you generally will see a swap to Ryan though, so it's a little bit more advantageous for this first point, especially since you can play that high ground against a very static low ground type comp, get a lot of cleave off, get really fast primal rages, and then play off primals to create space.
Speaking of fast ults here, EST Drink already at 82%. Going to build up a shatter super quickly as long as he can stay up. They're actually just basically poking at each other. Nobody willing to take too much. Speak of the shatter, there it is. He's going to be able to catch 3. He's trying to move in on it, but the payload actually in the way. Lucio ult already being popped here on the side of ExPandable Odyssey as they're going to be trying to push forward. EST Drink and the King both go down here, and that opening is just going to be enough here, and that's going to move ExPandable Odyssey in. And it is a wipeout here for Quantum Charge as they are going to be going down, but they go down with 4-5 ults here, as I don't know if they're going to be able to make it back in time, but they're going to be pretty stacked when they try to defend again.
Both team pretty much has everything. Darlis kind of dropping the sound barrier a little preemptively. I don't think they needed it, but just in case to keep your team up. So this whole final fight for point A has a chance to be a complete contest right now.
Yeah, Lucio ult here being trying to combo here with the Graviton, but they can't get down as they were stuck up onto the high ground, so they end up giving up first point and using both of their support ults, as now the fight going the way here of ExPandable Odyssey, as it looks like now the rest of the members of Quantum Charge going to have to pull back. Salad and Avondale both go down, and now it is going to be a romp through early parts of point B here by ExPandable Odyssey.
And worth noting is kind of after that they already capped point A and that fight was lost. They ended up dropping 3 ults still. They dropped the Sound Barrier, they dropped the Diva Bomb, they dropped the Zarya Grab, so their economy is kind of in shambles right now compared to ExPandable. So they need to make sure they really take this next couple of fights very patiently and that they don't keep staggering on point like they're doing.
Yeah, and losing both your Zarya and your Rhine, not a very good start here for Quantum Charge, as it looks like here the aggressiveness from ExPandable Odyssey, something Quantum Charge here has got to be ready for, as now they're going to be gathering up. They don't want to stagger into this fight. That payload still has to come around the bend. So the fight here is now going to be taken as soon as they come out. Great sort of slowdown here. Rally coming out here from the King, as he's going to try to see to build up some armor here for his team. But Nano Rocket immediately getting demeched here. Losing your Diva and that defense matrix is not a good thing at all. A Graviton will catch them again here. Transcendence now from Avondale will keep the team up, as now they are going to be able to sort of stall. EST Drink was able to get Saguli down with the fire, with the shatter, as now they're, but oh goodness, EST Drink goes down. Angry Monkey here now is going to force the payload to sort of move just a little bit, as the King trying to do anything that he can as he takes out his counterpart there. But unfortunately, it looks like Salad and Nanorocket going to be the only 2 left onto the point here. The rest of the members of ExPandable Odyssey here can see their opening if they can just eliminate that Lucio. Lucio looks like is going to fall back, and now point B will be captured by ExPandable Odyssey.
And this is where the Ryan comp sort of starts to see an advantage on Route 66 as opposed to this Winston comp, because this entire last stretch is so narrow, so Reinhardt shield shaped conveniently. They start to get a lot more value, whereas the Winston doesn't have all this high ground POV. So this is really Quantum Charge's chance to get their footing back and take control of the payload how they want to.
Yeah, Metallica here with the grab is going to be one to look out for. EST Drink, though, is able to take out Darlis. So losing the Lucio here, very disadvantageous, especially in a Ghost comp. Going to be looking for the grab. There it is. Will catch members of the team, and now this early engage is really going to pay off. Bomb gets sent into the background, but down go the members here of ExPandable Odyssey, as Quantum Charge here will get a nice hold right after point B.
And that's exactly what they wanted in order to stabilize. They have 3 ults, all support ults, a Reinhardt coming up, a Reinhardt Shatter, and there's really nothing that the attackers can use right now to break this easily. If they get a pick, that's a different story, but they don't have really any ults to break through. You really want to make sure that they play this a little bit slower pace, they play it how they want, and that they approach this properly and not in like a frantic rush sort of way.
Yeah. Ooh, they layered too many support ults in there, I think. As the bomb comes in into the back and is able to take both Iced Tea Drink and Salad down. The ults there unable to save them, and now members here of Quantum Charge falling left and right as Metallica gets taken down too. Icy Drink unable to use the Shatter as it was coming up, and now it's just a stagger time as Nanorocket getting taken out here. The members here of Quantum Charge have got to reset, and they've got to reset together before they attack this point, or they're going to get staggered to the point where ExPandable Odyssey is going to be able to take them down one by one.
Definitely layering the Zen ult and the Lucy ult hurt them in that grab. The Lucy ult came out too soon to protect from the Diva Bomb. They have a chance to push up aggressively with Rally if they want, maybe get a big shatter before DC can do anything about it, but that's really their last chance to keep this point from closing in on C.
Yeah, Metallica and Icy Drink both went down, so this fight started without both of their front line tanks, and now is DC just going crazy. They're going to finish off this point with a minute 47 in the time bank. ExPandable Odyssey here looking very, very good here on Route 66.
That went much smoother for them than the first point. They had a very decisive hold over the point pretty much for the whole time, only really losing one fight when it was the Winston switching to Ryan. So impeccable time from ExPandable there, and we're going to have to see an even better performance from Quantum Charge if they want to stay in this map.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see what they run, because you saw them start off with the Winston on the first 2 points, and then you saw DC actually come in and switch to the Reinhardt, which is something very typical on the third part because of the narrow hallways and the fact that like a Shatter will encapsulate pretty much the entire hallway. So they want to make sure that they use that as well as the shield, as there's just tons of spam coming in through point 3. So interesting to see what will happen now. Quantum Charge now on the offense here, and they will go to a Winston Goats all of their own. But look at the defense here. DC and the rest of ExPandable Odyssey going on a Winston Goats defense of their own. So it'll be a race to see who gets to be the first angry monkey here, Pulse.
Fast, but the real things to keep advantage of with Winston Goats is, well, really in any Goats, is the team that uses Lucio's speed. Generally, like if your Lucio can use speed very well and very properly, it gives you a very big advantage because you can disengage and engage properly, take fights how you want them, you can kite out of fights. So it really gives you a lot more options in taking fights and working through them, like repositioning all of that.
Yeah. So it looks like here we are going to start. No late changes coming in from either side, as now it looks like they're going to put the Winston bubble up to see if they can maybe pick somebody from the high ground. Metallica here going forward, trying to see if he can get a little bit of extra energy here, while the rest of the members of ExPandable Odyssey are just sort of content, hiding behind the sign, behind Big Earls. Icy Drink will dive in here, but is going to get stopped by the sign, as he's basically then gotten stunned. Evandale actually going down here in the back for Quantum Charge. Losing the Zenyatta is huge because you lose a 30% bonus to damage on anybody that's targeted. The King going down too, meaning 2 supports, now a tank going down, and now this will be a hold on the first corner here for ExPandable Odyssey. They're having their way here a little bit with Quantum Charge.
It looks like Quantum Charge made this adjustment with the Winston after that last round. Even it doesn't quite look like they're as practiced and know how to deal with it. So the first couple pushes might be a bit rusty, but as they figure this out or adjust to the Winston a little bit more over the Rhine, they might have some more success.
Yeah, so the thing about it is like Ice Tree Drink can't be going in by himself, and there you see Nanorocket trying to just use that defense matrix, make sure that the Winston stays alive, and only really the damage that comes in is any any sort of like laser beam damage that's going to come in from Zarya. Because now he's trying to sort of separate them off and get them off of the high ground here, doing his sort of dance with the angry Winston, as Icy Drink though does go down, but as this is all happening, the payload is still moving. They get it to the first corner here, as Nanorocket is able to eliminate DC. And now, but with Nanorocket having to sort of get DMEC, Transcendence comes out here to just sort of buy them some space and keep this push going. They know they have the spawn advantage, so with no Winston on the other side, they're going to try to push it, as a Transcendence will come in here, try to save themselves from getting wiped out due to that Graviton rally coming in from the King. As now they're going to be trying to push their advantage here. Saguli, though, getting a big kill, as a Graviton will catch the members here of Quantum Charge. Down go 3 members here, thanks to that bomb there from Jax. Evandale's here still on the point, is going to get deleted, but with 143 here on the clock, Expandable Odyssey looking good on this point A defense.
The only thing that really happened for them good in that fight for Quantum Charge was that DC blew a very late Primal into a more or less an already won fight. So they won't have that option coming up, but they do have the rally still. They're getting close to both support alts. They won't have them right away, but if it's an extended engagement, then they'll probably get Lucio alt, possibly a Zen alt. So there's a little bit more on the attacker side to choose from and what to do in this fight, just given that they have both trans and sound barrier. They have to use them preemptively a little bit more so than they have been, because they've generally been dropping them as people have already died.
Yeah, so they've got to watch out for their timing here on the support alts. Graviton comes out here, will catch members here of Expandable Odyssey, and that is the combo that they needed, as now it looks like Darlis is going to make a run for his life, and the point A capture will go to Quantum Charge here on the back of that great Graviton from Metallica.
They finally got the Graviton off. They got a combo with something that they wanted, and in addition to that Graviton going off, it allowed Ice-T Drink to get a bunch of kills, but also his Shatter coming up. And Shatter, when you're playing against a Winston, is something that's much easier to land as Ryan. So if they can sort of rotate this Graviton and this Shatter and use them properly and continually make sure that they have one of them up, especially playing into this Winston comp, it gives them a big opportunity to steamroll from point B.
Yeah, and now you can see the defense that's being set up here from Expandable Odyssey. They're just sort of camping the high ground, making sure that they don't give it up and do not go to the ground here. They're going to give up a little bit of space, but that's okay in their part, because as soon as it gets to the corner, that thing will stop. Saguli actually DMEX Nanorocket here, so no Diva might be the go signal here for the rest of the members here of Expandable Odyssey, as now they're trying to sort of surround them around the point here and see if they can finish anybody off. The big kill, though, by Ice-T Drink, as they do get caught up there by the Graviton, but it is all Quantum Charge, as they actually are going to be the ones who are getting the kills here. Ice-T Drink getting the kills that he needed here on that Reinhardt, getting the support that he needs. Jax now has been DMEC. They don't want to really stagger the Diva here, because they need to move that point payload really quickly.
Metallica, like I said earlier, as soon as that Ryan drops the Shatter from Ice-T Drink, Metallica managed to build up to a grab. So this is really what they need to make sure that they can't even get out and contest. They can grab Diva Bomb, they can grab just to make sure they can't touch. They need to make sure this is a big grab.
And you called it there, Pulse. He waited till the very last second in order to do anything about it, to get that Graviton out, and he basically got them that point for free. It did cost a Graviton, but that's exactly what you wanted to do. You don't even need a contest here, and now is the positioning of the contest has actually gotten to a place now in point 3, so now they're going to move a little bit of space and move that payload up. Ice-T Drink going down, though, is going to be a big loss for them, as now the rest of the members of Odyssey will see the opening and now push back on the members here of Quantum Charge. They're going to probably fall back to spawn here. The King getting caught, but will probably stay up. No, not going to get taken out here, and it's going to be a full reset here for Quantum Charge. But they got point B relatively easily there with 2:25 left to go. They need a couple fight wins here to take this team down.
Easily 2 or 3 fight wins from where it is now, but at least they cap point B and they're in contention for finishing this one.
Graviton going to be sent up here. Transcendence actually popped too, but Jax places it perfectly as 4 members here of Quantum Charge go down. They were just getting sort of booped and didn't really know exactly where that bomb was going to land. It is a team kill here for Expandable Odyssey. Quantum Charge, though, just happy that it ended fairly quickly.
Salad even committed a sound barrier to that, but it was a little too late, so no one got the effects of the barrier before the Diva Bomb actually went off. So that's unfortunate for Salad, but they kind of just got to wipe that one off and keep rolling with it. They still have a Shatter, they still have a Rally, so they can be aggressive with both of these alts and take a fight that they want, as long as they can pressure DC properly.
Yeah, Shatter actually will come in and catch a couple members, but it was in the middle of the Transcendence there, so they're not going to get maximum potential out of that. But in the meantime, Ice-T Drink went down again. Losing the Reinhardt is going to be big. With no frontline shield, they can sort of just push on the members of Quantum Charge, as now it looks like one by one all the supports going down here, as they're going to have to get another reset. Nano Rocket now will probably get a little bit staggered. And now both members of Quantum Charge here maybe getting a little antsy with only 1 minute left to go.
Definitely a little bit antsy. This isn't a position you want to be in, because now it's going to be very unlikely this map anytime, especially considering the stall potential on point C. If they can get this grab off and capitalize on it, that's a really good start, but they're going to have to finish out at least one more fight past this.
Well, Seguli goes down, so they don't get a big combo here with that grab, but they do get one, and losing a Zarya is super important. It's one of the main damage dealers here in the GOATS comp, so Evandel takes out Trimatar, so now they've lost a tank and a support, and looks like the members of ExPandable Odyssey has the writing on the wall, so they know they need to sort of fall back here, as it looks like they've sort of had to fall back into spawn, are going to wait for their Brigitte to come back. Members here of Quantum Charge realizing that are trying to take as much space as possible. Final fight now coming in, as looks like a Shatter got canceled, and ooh, big Shatter coming in there from Ice-T Drink, but a bomb lands in. Not going to kill anybody there. Lucky for them. Jax, though, is able to demech Nano Rocket, so that was what's happened. Graviton now comes in, but no Reinhardt to sort of swing and get everybody to do any of the damage here, as now it looks like if ExPandable Odyssey can win this fight, they will win this map, as one by one the members of Quantum Charge here getting taken down. Nano Rocket and Salad trying their best to stall off this point. Nano Rocket getting demeched here. Now they just need to kill her off. Well, looks like Ice-T Drink trying to charge back in. Will get charged off on the point. And ExPandable Odyssey here with a great hold on point C will take Route 66 and take a 2-0 lead in this match.
That map looked a lot more decisive than the King of the Hill on Nepal earlier. Just ExPandable Odyssey was really taking control of it, being aggressive when they wanted to, able to kite out fights when they didn't want to take fights, and even some really like sneaky boops from Darlis to get Ice-T Drink further into his own team. I don't know if anyone caught that, but there's a couple really good boops into their own team. And then in general, Triamadar just using the rally a lot more effectively than King. King was kind of popping them a lot closer to how you'd almost use Transcendence to keep people up, and in the end, it just ended up happening was the King would pop it and then die very quick, or would pop it and then someone else would die, so they weren't able to get full value out of that support ultimate.
Yeah, the King is by heart a DPS main, so you see a lot of DPSs actually go to the Zarya and the Brigitte as the alternates in the GOATS comp. So sometimes, though, some DPS are not really comfortable, and you sort of saw it there, that the like King was just sort of not using the rallies in the proper places, and possibly not necessarily used to the Brigitte there, so getting just a little bit off on there, and just sort of maybe mess with the rhythm there of Quantum Charge. But good job there. Kudos, though, to ExPandable Odyssey to take Route 66 and take a commanding lead in this match. With both teams now actually heading into halftime, I think they're going to switch sides here, when that also means substitutions are going to be coming in. So when we come back, it's going to be Horizon Lunar Colony from both ExPandable Odyssey and a Quantum Charge here. ExPandable Odyssey with a 2-0 lead. Let's see if they're going to be able to close it out, or will Quantum Charge give them a run for their money and see if they can start a reverse sweep. In the meantime, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
The world could always use more heroes.
が敵を食らう。
You know, the world could always use more heroes.
優が我が敵を食らう。
You know, the world could always use more heroes.
我が敵を食らう。
heroes.
Traveling to Horizon Luna Colony.
Alrighty,
Initiating
folks.
Match.
We are back from the break. It is a 2-0 lead here for ExPandable Odyssey over Quantum Charge. And Pulse, we go into the 2CP assault phase of this map. Horizon Lunar Colony, very, very odd when it comes to 2CP, at least I think so. What do you think here Quantum Charge need to do on this map in order to pick up a win that they desperately need?
It's hard to say coming in, after, especially after that, because ExPandable has looked a little bit cleaner on Goat's just overall, that sort of triple composition. But if they're running something different, and it looks like they are, then that might change up the dynamics a little bit. We might see some stuff happen. We might see some things fall out. But it looks like that ExPandable Odyssey is going for sort of opting for this high ground bunker-esque comp, and they're just going to try and spam them down at the choke. And when you're running against something like this, especially on Horizon, where you don't really see it on a whole lot of maps, and maybe not even prepared for it as an attacking team, then it really depends on how quickly you can adapt to it mid-game. So if they can adapt to it or sort of figure out how to play against it very quickly, this could be a very quick take. But if they don't and sort of get stumped by it and stall out, then they might not be able to take much of point A at all.
Yeah, so there were a lot of substitutions that we'll try to sort of read off for you as they begin their attack. It's Salad actually coming back out for Tiskahar. Click-clack in for Rip and Pippin on the side here. Oh, Tiskahar actually gets immediately taken out here by Melcheezy, who is actually in here for DC, as now the members here of Quantum Charge, of ExPandable Odyssey, are holding their defense on the high ground here and waiting for Quantum Charge to sort of attack them, but they're just sort of holding here onto the point. One person here on the point, and they've already gotten a tick here as Evandale is able to take down Trimatar. Seguli's still firing basically onto the point, but it's only going to be contested by anybody who sort of falls into the point. The supports, Darlis, and it looks like the Baby Diva are sort of in the background. Seguli finally gets Nanorocket down here, but the offense here refusing to sort of give it up. They want to get the second tick before they leave, and they do get it, as now Darlis here trying to possibly boop them all off the point, and now as the little mini grab here forces them onto the point, Seguli slowly but surely, one by one, members here of Quantum Charge getting sort of melted down, as finally I think Phantom Tissue, who is actually going to be in here, will actually finally go down, but they get, what is that, 85% pulse?
That was a lot of ticks for more or less for free. We didn't see really Jax kind of stop taking turns slowing it out with Triamatar and Darlis, which should have been the ones kind of hopping down in this. You want the Orisa to go down if possible for an opening, but they're also not really using the boops, mini grabs, and the concussive mines to sort of knock them into sightlines of Bastion or off point as well as they should have been. They're setting up a little bit further back to point, which gives everyone on Quantum Charge a chance to sort of get up high ground, maybe contest this Bastion before they decide to go to point, but not with Tiskahar falling like that.
No, not going to happen. Without the Lucio here, they're going to be at a really, really big advantage. Ice-T Drink going down here, and this push is over. Evandel going to try his best, but Suguli melts everybody down. 146 here left on the clock. They've burned a lot of time here, but you got to remember that they've already gotten 85%.
This isn't, at this point, it's not really a nothing gained fight from ExPandable, or a nothing gained from Quantum Charge, because they have gotten percentage. But Horizon is one of those ones where people generally take A pretty fast, so if they want to feel safe in their standings, they want to at least get A and some progress on B if possible.
Yeah, as it looks like, oh, they're going to start moving in. Ult here from Suguli is only going to make it really hard here as that tire combines, and down go all of the members here of Quantum Charge. They get blown up as a tire and an ulting Bastion will send them back to spawn. Nano Rocket there getting really staggered, and now a big 6 coming up here from Quantum Charge. They're going to need to maximize these ults to take this point.
The only bright side for Quantum Charge there was that they used both DPS ults, the Bastion and the tire. Maybe a little bit unnecessary, but you know, they got some flashy plays out of it. So Quantum Charge coming up with all 6 ults, they really have to make something out of it. They have to make sure they stay alive, they have to make sure they combo Shatter, Grav, plus a Diva Bomb or something, but Seguli's just mowing everyone down and eats the Grav too. So Jack's eating that Grav.
Yeah, and killing both of the supports is basically eliminating all of the support ults here that were going to be available to sort of keep them alive. So Bomb actually goes off here onto the point as Source has to burn the rally onto the point, but are they going to be able to sort of hold off and do anything about it? Phantom Tissue is now gone, is back, but he's built up 50% of the ult. Lucio ult now coming in as another big ult here coming out here from Suguli, trying to sort of blow up anybody in his path. He's going to be able to do so. Evandel trying his best to get back onto the point, trying to get anything he can. Big Shatter coming in, but down goes Ice-T Drink, and overtime's going to tick down. 85% is all they're going to get, unable to break that high ground Bastion.
Like I said earlier, that's one of those defensive that you're not really sure how to approach. It can more or less just sort of surprise you like that, and if you're not making the adjustments you need to sort of attack into it or to counter it playing undercover, they did a very good job the first push where they got pretty much all of that 85% just by using cover and sort of making sure that no one from the defense could boop them into sightlines of the Bastion. But at that point, it was almost a little bit of a misplay from ExPandable because they weren't able to sort of force them to sightlines or force them off point or even like sort of tank cycle to make sure they didn't gain as much progress. However, it's not over for Quantum Charge. They do have to protect it. They only have 85% to take it, but at least it's not only like a third or 2/3, so they have a little bit of room to work with. They might be able to roll out with the same comp if they kind of figure out how it works, even at a base level, and sort of counter them before they, if ExPandable doesn't really know how to play into it, you could sort of see some counter comps and force them to taste their own medicine. But looks like they're going to try and roll out with this original Goats comp, which is a Moira instead of a Zen for the triples.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do. They have to be super careful here that they don't lose any of their supports early, because it'll be really, really important that the supports and the Rhine stay alive during this push. 85.6% is the goal here for ExPandable Odyssey. They're going to bring out Suguli here on the Sombra, so hacks possibly coming in. They can afford to be patient here on the offense and just maybe take their time, and maybe when they realize they were going to run into a Goats comp here, maybe they just go straight to point and just sort of force the action onto the point. Let's see what they do, as the Suguli here is going to go out there and scout. Very smart move here coming in from ExPandable Odyssey. They just want to know what they're going to be up against, as immediately they realize it's like, all right, it's going to be a Goats comp, so they can just basically come in with their own version of Goats, and they will be running Zen Goats here, which is going to make sure that they're going to have a little bit of a DPS advantage here against Quantum Charge, who will have the healing advantage, because the Moira will be able to provide maximum amounts of healing. They actually will wrap around the left and actually go straight to point here, and the fight will happen on point. So we're going to see who is going to be the first to go down. And with the Zen Goats here, the advantage here is with the attacking team. They're just going to force them right off the point. A quick Shatter here is going to capture Ice-T Drink into the Shatter. He does get forced back, but is going to still stay alive. Source goes down though, but Phantom Tissue is able to take out Trimator, so they trade Brigittes. Nano Rocket going down here from Seguli, but Melchizzy goes down. So now Lucio ults coming in from both sides. Graviton will catch Phantom Tissue and an Iced Tea Drink as they actually will come back. Graviton here, but great Transcendence here by Click Clack as they're going to be trying to keep pushing. Jax here holding on as Tiskahar here into the back. They've got to make sure that they do realize that the Lucio is back there. Jax gets demeched, and it's just a brawl here onto the point. Evandale will take Click Clack down as it looks like this is going to be a defensive hold, and the members of Odyssey are going to have to pull back.
Ice T Train getting a shatter early in that fight and then finishing it with another one prepared for next fight. So that's what the advantage that Evandale gives you on the Moira is just a huge amount of sustain from just everyone being grouped up all the time. You can get ult crazy fast. You can get shattered crazy fast because your Orion's just free to swing all the time. And they're doing a much better job of pocketing Ice T to make sure he doesn't fall early in these fights.
Yeah. And now here they come again. Coalescence will come out now as a shatter will cap them all. Bomb gets sent into the back. No shield there going to be available. And now the defense here from Quantum Charge looking very solid. 143 here left on the clock. That first pipe burned off way too much time, I think, as Click Clack goes down here, and now the members here are just going to be having to reset as members here of Quantum Charge going to fall back into their positions, trying to wait out ExPandable Odyssey.
And Triamatar, getting sick of all this tank and support going on, wants to try and switch to Fair here. So ideally, it looks like they're going to try and play for a barrage and just try and combo everything at once. But both teams are in a similar situation where after the fight, they're down to less than half their time. But we see ExPandable coming out with 0%, whereas Quantum Charge had so much already, 85.
Yeah. Oh, counter Graviton here. We'll catch them. Transcendence here from Click Clack. We'll try to sort of keep the members alive here. Bomb will take Tiskahar out. Kills now coming in here for ExPandable as Trimatar takes down two. Seguli gets down Nano Rocket here, and it is not gone the way here of Quantum Charge. They're falling back onto the point here. Source with the rally out is getting spammed by the rockets from Trimatar. Lucio ult here just to confirm the point. Nobody left here from Quantum Charge. They're going to be trying to run back. Iced Tea Drink trying to make it back. Shatter coming in. We'll catch two members here. They want to make sure that they focus on capping this point. Blocking the doorway, maybe gone a little too far forward, trying to sort of prevent them from coming in. As now Evandale here will get taken out, but it is ExPandable Odyssey confirming the win. They will cap on Lunar Colony and take this match 3-0.
That far change was exactly what they wanted to and out to the PS because they were trying to play their own different versions of the comp in the same way, which you really can't do. When you have that Moira, you have so much more sustain, whereas when you have that Zen, you don't have that option. You have to play a lot more patiently. You have to bait out some cooldowns so that people don't sort of fall to the sheer aggression that you can come out with that Moira, and then use your Discord to make sure you chip down their Rhine or chip down one of their tanks over time a little bit more to sort of apply pressure to them. But they're trying to play it the same way, and as soon as they said, we're not going to play the same game and swap to that Pharah, they just grabbed, build up a barrage instantly, then just more or less team wiped them off the grab barrage.
Yeah, and that was the thing. It's like they realized what they just sort of needed to do, went in there, and then just sort of did their thing. The Rockets were so quick to get that barrage in, so that there was just no answer there from Quantum Charge. So unfortunately, for Quantum Charge, it's going to be a matter now of making sure that they can maybe pull back a map and make sure that they are going to have something available here, at least to lower the differential here to -2 as opposed to maybe making it a -4. Quantum Charge, one of the teams there on the bubble when it comes to the playoffs, so this win is huge for ExPandable Odyssey, so that will separate them a little bit here from the bottom, from the 6th place area. Quantum Charge now falling down a little bit, and now we're going to get caught up in a big race here for the final spots here of the Minors division. So it could be sort of tough sledding here for Quantum Charge as their games going towards the end of the stage will be very, very important for them to keep picking up wins and maps.
Both teams still more or less at 50% or even, but ExPandable Odyssey going 10-3 off this map is a really, really good sign for their playoffs. They're puts them much closer to first, like you said. So it really solidifies them where they want to be for postseason. They're pretty safe given that they won this, and it might give them some chances to try out more combinations of their roster, be a little bit more experimental going into the next couple maps, especially on ones that they expect to win off of, so teams with worse records. So it might give them some opportunities to test things out and try things on as the season goes on, given that they are pretty comfortable in their standing right now.
Yeah, exactly. So this is time to sort of see whether or not if Blizzard World possibly comes up in the playoff rotation when it comes to maps and stuff. Try out something new, see if their strategy can work. Maybe play some characters or some configurations that aren't necessarily the norm here to see if they can see something or do something that would be advantageous to them going forward in the playoffs. So now substitutions coming in from both sides as they're getting ready here for Blizzard World. We're going to come back when both teams are going to be ready. This is going to take a bit. So now, just to give you a heads up, it is ExPandable Odyssey up 3-0 here on Quantum Charge as we go into the fourth map, which will be Blizzard World. When we come back, it will be ExPandable Odyssey here on offense on Blizzard World. So stay tuned.
Came through. Our Salad is back in for Tishkahar, I believe, and then Evie also came in for. I'm blanking.
I don't know. Who did Evie come in for? Click Clack,
Jax.
maybe? Jax.
Came in for Jax. Click Clack
right.
still in. They're Rip and Pippin and Click Clack are both supports, I believe. So.
Aha, yes they are.
Just those two subs coming in though.
Yeah, and on the other side here, Source, Nanorocket, Iced Tea Drink, Phantom Tissue Salad, and Evendale, excuse me, both all in. So no substitutes here on the side there for
Salad came in for Tishkahar.
Tishkahar. Oh, you're right. So Tishkahar does go out. So just a slight change there. So now both teams here getting ready to get set up here and looking from Quantum Charge. Saguli here going Reinhardt. Trimatar going support. No, that's not what I'm seeing. Melcheesy actually looking like he's going now. They keep messing with the lineups. I'm not even going
you're just getting baited by it.
Yeah.
So the defense is running out with a very similar bunker comp to what we saw ExPandable run out with last time, where they have that Bastion, that Orisa. They have a Sim in, which is an interesting change. It allows the Bastion to have some mobility that you normally wouldn't have. And we see this Sombra Goats-esque comp coming out, but Saguli always has the possibility of just scouting right now, so there's a chance Saguli's going to just go back and go Zarya. Yeah, and there it is. Yeah, so they're going to run out then Goats comp, which is more or less what they've been running most of the night, and they're going to try and break the Bastion bunker defense coming out from Quantum Charge.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've got laser beams at the front door, you've got Bastion damage coming in. It looks like the members here of the Odyssey are just going to try to wrap around and maybe just go directly at them, and then they just teleport away, and they're going to teleport to the high ground. I like it. I like what Quantum Charge is doing. It's like, Expandable Odyssey, come at me. That's what they're basically saying. We're just going to teleport to a different position if you try to get too close. So
they
now...
need to be careful because this teleporter isn't up yet, and they're likely going to retreat to the high ground on the left side of the defensive point, but since that teleporter is not up, they might have trouble keeping the Bastion alive if you get stormed too hard.
Well, I don't think that's going to be the problem, so you can always fight an aggressive team by just wailing on them with regards to just offensive damage, and that's what they do as members of Expandable Odyssey, who chased them up onto the high ground, got melted, and now it's just a baby diva here on the point trying to contest, so that Eevee, poor little Eevee there, is going to get taken out here, as looks like this comp has been working relatively well here from Quantum Charge.
That Bastion, we saw a really good boop come in from Phantom Tissue to separate the team and sort of take some damage from the Bastion when they're trying to storm Nano Rocket. So just from that boop, it allowed the Bastion to dish out a little bit more damage, take out some people, Diva boop some people off high grounds. They weren't able to focus properly, and it's a pretty good hold coming out so far. They have this Bastion tank mode, they have a turret, they have everything they want to keep holding this point for the next minute or so.
Yep, and then they teleport again off of the high ground back onto the opposite high ground here. So now they're going to be able to sort of rotate again. So I'm liking this sort of sim movement, moving the Bastion here and there. I don't think I've ever seen another team try this particular strategy, and I really have to give them kudos for their inventiveness here.
This is similar to how some teams ran this Bastion Orisa defense. That's a huge stagger coming out on Eevee. They were trying to get him back into mech for the last 30 seconds or so, and ended up just dying right there, less than half. So really just killing a minute by doing nothing here because they're unable to fight this 5v6 without a mech to Diva. So, but anyway, this is really similar to how some teams were using this attack on like Anubis and other 2CP maps, where you can just sort of have the Bastion kite around with a sim teleporter, and it's kind of scary to fight into because you don't always know where they're going. You can guess, but you're not always sure.
Yeah, exactly. They've already killed about 3 minutes of clock here, and forcing them through the back is going to make them come up the stairs. But at the same time, Nano Rocket here has got a lot of damage, and here comes the Symmetro. Oh, Phantom Tissue goes huge with the bomb. The Symmetra sort of wall there, preventing any damage from coming in. And now with only 35 seconds left to go, members of Quantum Charge here are going to be able to set up on the high ground and sort of force them to do the long rotation. And this is going to be very, very hard to break here now, coming from Expandable Odyssey.
I wouldn't say that because they will have every ult except for the Transcendence available to fight. So there's a potential they could just combo some things and make their way out in an extended fight. But that's dependent on if they can get this Bastion down with either a stun or just knocked out. Just kill them straight outright. So they're rushing right to point to make sure this happens. They're going to teleport low ground, but they're actually going to teleport high ground, sorry. But they're not really hitting the Bastion with any of these ults yet.
Oh, looks like a big ult, actually. As soon as you say that, the ult blows the Bastion up as he was on the other side. And now the members of Expandable Odyssey are able to take them all out. They finally break this stalwart defense here of Quantum Charge. And with only 2:30 here on the clock, they're going to have to rush through point B.
That was unfortunate. Nano Rocket jumped down from high ground, kind of just into that bomb without realizing where it was going to end. It looked like he was going to land sort of on that high ground behind point, but it just sort of pooped off and fell down. Ended up getting him into blast radius. And they're still sticking with Nano Rocket on Bastion right now. So they're running triple support, 2 tank, and a Bastion to try and break this. And we'll see how it works, given that he doesn't have the mobility without the sim teleporter now.
Yeah, but he was able to get Click Clack down, so therefore losing that support, the support Zen there, is going to give them this early sort of fight win. Trimatar here, coming in, and a big shatter coming in from Melchizzy. But now here comes the ult here from Nano Rocket, and he's going to be able to lay down a lot of damage, but he's going to get pushed back here. Not going to be able to do enough here on the Bastion, gets blown up, and now Expandable Odyssey here are going to start to be able to impose their will and push in, make some space for themselves, and see if they can cap this point B.
They're getting this momentum building up right now. Trans, they have another graph. They have everything they want to more or less just face tank this fight and just roll down the defense.
And here they come. They're just sort of fighting right here on a point B. Shatter coming in will get blocked. So that's a no-go, no dice there. as Ice Tea Drink gets eliminated here by Melcheesy. Payload finally coming around the corner here as Evandel trying her best to just sort of hold on to that point. Not going to be able to do so. Salad coming in on the Lucio, trying to see if they can kill even more time. Not going to be able to do that too, as it looks like the members of Odyssey here are just going to be rushing in. They're starting to build up ults. 5 ults are going to be available here right away, trying to make some space for themselves as they're trying to just eliminate members here of Quantum Charge. They're using this to just sort of make sure that that payload will go through, as they will be very, very aggressive here, Pulse, trying to sort of push in and get as many kills as they can.
And that's exactly what they wanted to do too, because any ults they used in the last fight, more or less, are back right now. So they're coming in with 5 ults. They're getting really close to Lucio, and right now Quantum Charge is at a huge disadvantage. They got almost nothing from the last fight. They barely stalled out the cart for all of B, but they have this coalescence, and they're going to try and be aggressive off of it.
Oh, great Shatter Bomb combo there from Eevee and Melcheesy, as they're able to eliminate the backline as Salad and Evandel go down, and now it's a matter of just sort of staggering them down. It looks like the Baby Diva from NanoRocket not going to be able to hold them off, as that payload slowly but surely moving to the point here. ExPandable Odyssey doing a great job here through point C. Rally coming out here from Trimatar will try to make sure that everybody has all that excess armor. Graviton will keep the team in the back corner there, as Saguli and Trimatar wiping out what's on point. Big shatter from Ice Tea Drink, but unable to sort of prevent any sort of kills on his own back line, as he gets eliminated too. NanoRocket here now getting eliminated, lane with Source. This is last chance saloon here from Quantum Charge. Graviton will capture the members here of ExPandable Odyssey, but nobody going down. Melcheesy gets Salad down, and it's going to be a matter of just making sure they can wipe out the tanks here from Quantum Charge, and they will eliminate Quantum Charge here off the point and capture point C. That's going to be able to do it. And what a turnaround after almost being full held on point A. ExPandable Odyssey here take point C in a very hard Blizzard world.
And it was unfortunate for Quantum Charge too, because it almost lost point A by accident. Like, there are a couple misplays coming out from them. There have been a few consistent ones all night, but just taking that Diva Bomb, and it just, ExPandable Odyssey took that opening and ran all the way to the end of the point with it, and more or less with the best situation possible. They were never really stopped on B. Like, fights were kind of taken off cart, so it was never really slowed down. They were able to roll through point C after only really losing maybe half a fight, if you want to call it that. But they were just able to cycle those tank ults very effectively, make sure that they're always ahead, making sure that the payload never stopped by taking fights ahead of the payload, making sure that they comboed properly with shatters, bombs, grabs. So overall, really good team play coming out from ExPandable Odyssey to make sure that they took a very bad situation with almost no time and turned into the best thing possible for them, which is about 30-second time bank.
Yeah, absolutely. And now here, Quantum Charge now will be on the offense, seeing what they can do here on Blizzard World. This looks like it was a map that they've practiced. So, you know, they come in with that Symmetra Bastion strategy coming in specifically on this map. Now looking like they're bringing in Source and NanoRocket here. Looks like Source will be coming in with Salad, so there will be a pharmacy up at NanoRocket on the Ash. For the long sightlines, not necessarily like a Widow, sort of like a mid-range sniper coming in from NanoRocket. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here on offense, because it seems to me that this is something that Quantum Charge have wanted to practice, and they sort of know this map pretty well.
The Ash Far too is a little bit better against triple tank, triple support, just because of that dynamite than the Widow. So I think that has to be their thought process coming into this with their set strategy. They're using this Far very effectively to make sure that not everyone can stay up on high ground, but Sagoli kind of makes his way back up there.
Yeah, exactly. He gets himself up there trying to see if he can take Source down, and he does, and Evandel goes down along with it. Saguli going Mega McCree here, taking people down one by one. Trimatur is able to eliminate Ice Tea Drink, so Ice Tea Drink going down, it's going to be huge, and it's going to force everybody back here, so a reset coming in from Quantum Charge.
And Phantom Tissue getting stalled out just a little bit, but nothing too bad. They're about a minute down already on this first attack, but they're coming up, Source switching from Far to Junkrat, and they already have a Val coming online, so things are looking pretty good for them, as long as we see Salad play behind cover, since the High Noon's also up. and he might not be able to find all the value that he's wanting from this high noon.
Yeah, he's actually on the low ground now. Probably just going to save that high noon when that pharmacy comes in really close here. It's basic engage coming in here now as they're coming in from the right side, trying to see if they can make some space for themselves. Saguli doing a pretty decent job hiding behind the shield and the cover so that he doesn't get picked off here. The Pharah has to be very careful on the side of Quantum Charge. Excuse me, Source has actually gone to the Junkrat now, so it's chitching up. So, oh, great shot there from Saguli. High noon coming in. He's able to eliminate Source there as he's jumping in. Evandale here onto the point, trying to sort of hold off here. And now Salad by herself is going to have to retreat. Saguli, a one-man wrecking machine here, is able to sort of wipe down the rest of the members here of Quantum Charge. 2 minutes left on the clock here in order for them to cap point A.
And again, Phantom Tissue kind of getting a little bit, and will make him lose a couple seconds, but the goalie really doing a good job of showing why he's the one on Zarya in this Ghost Comp, because he's had some really stellar aim so far, building up these high noons incredibly fast, knowing when to use them, not waiting for these really big opportunities and just using it to get a free pick, like in the middle of a fight. So, some really good McCree play coming out from the defense.
Yeah, and Saguli knows that the opposing team here is on the other side, so he's just sort of hiding, trying to see if he can get like a flashbang charge here, maybe with Melcheezy, maybe, or even a shatter to come through. So the Quantum Charge here looking a little perplexed as to which way they need to come in, as they do not want to get stunned and walk themselves into an Earth Shadow. Diva Bomb gets sent into the back line there, not going to be able to catch anything. Nanorocket sends the bomb right onto the point there, as the bomb will not get anyone, but Nanorocket on the Tracer here will get two. Rare Tracer sighting here, as Source will send in the Tired, just looking for somebody to kill. Gets Trimaturn now. It's going to be a matter of just wiping Eevee and ripping Pippin off the point here, and this will be a cap from Quantum Charge. Slowly but surely, they're going to cap this point A.
And a very comparable situation. We saw ExPandable cap point A last time, where it's very little time, under a minute. They have a little bit more of an advantage of time bank, just so they could potentially finish with more time or have some more leeway in this B and C push, because we did see ExPandable go through B and C very quickly. But if they're able to keep this momentum up and keep pushing through and playing the comp they want to, which isn't goads, they've been having a lot more success against it. These dive variants or different sort of DPS lineups allows them to shine. If they're able to keep this up, then they can easily get this momentum and take it all the way to C.
This is absolutely fantastic. Great dive there by AC Drink, getting in the end of the background to kill Click Clack. So the Ana going down on the side of ExPandable Odyssey sort of forces them out of position as they chase the tanks around. Nano Rocket there with a big kill on the Melcheezy. And now looks like Quantum Charge here with a little bit of momentum as they're trying to sort of bear down on the members of ExPandable Odyssey here as that payload slowly but surely moves towards point B, as they're sort of now holding sort of the Black Ring gate here, waiting for the payload to sort of come and just sort of make sure that they can cap this point B. ExPandable Odyssey here look a little confused as they're trying to make sure that they sort of jump in with all six, and now here they come with this dive. Melcheezy hits the top and immediately sort of rebounds down. Diva Bomb in the back will take down Evandale, but another Diva Bomb here sent in from Quantum Charge, unfortunately unable to get anyone as Source takes down Melcheezy. Nano Rocket again on that Tracer has done very well. Tracer Bomb Pulse Bomb drops down, will not get anybody, as Eevee now in no man's land will get nano boosted to save her life, as along with a Lucio ult here, trying to just sort of push and make sure that they force back the members of Quantum Charge as they get all taken down here. Phantom Tissue and Eevee there. Phantom Eevee was able to get boosted, got Lucio ulted. They wanted to make sure that Diva stayed alive.
Eevee really cleaning up with Nano Rocket there in that, or Eevee and Saguli were cleaning up on the Diva Tracer, making sure that they got everyone was getting that 3-4K. So they swapped to dive before the last one, and it really paid off. They now have a way to contest Evandale on Zen and Salad on Ana, and because they were able to do that, they were able to open that fight with early picks on both Salad and Evandale. And things have sort of turned around. The cart got a lot of progress in B, but now with that dive, we see ExPandable take it back over, and they're sort of looking good on dive now, and they can take the fights that they want.
Yeah, Nanorocket's gone to the McCree here to possibly try to counter the Tracer. Bomb actually goes off, will take out Evandale, and Phantom Tissue getting demeched here. So two big losses here to start off this fight. Click Clack, though, is able to take down Source is able to take down Trimatar. Blade coming in here from Source. It is a Nano Blade. He's looking for a target to see if he can get anybody. Saguli goes down, and a High Noon coming in, but not. Nanorocket takes down Eevee as the payload will start to start moving a little bit. Now it is going to be a Nanoed Winston trying to push back the members here of Quantum Charge. 4 seconds left to go. Somebody's got to be able to touch that point. Another Blade here, this time on the side of ExPandable Odyssey, trying to see if they can get anybody down. Trimatar trying to hide from the bomb. Phantom Tissue, though, is able to get 4 members now down here for Quantum Charge. For ExPandable Odyssey. They're going to cap this point as Eevee starts to go down, trying to die onto the point, and in overtime, Quantum Charge here refusing to go down as they capture point B, but with only a minute 30, this is a very tough stretch here on Blizzard World.
Yeah, for sure. And it's kind of funny, but someone needs to teach these players to take cover against these bombs, because they've been way more effective than most D.Va bombs. We've seen a lot of 3K, 4K, solo bombs on people that kind of aren't expecting the trajectory. That's something I think both teams need to work on, especially going in future matches, because we've seen a lot of free bomb kills from both sides, especially on these non-GOATS compositions.
Well, it looks like here a change coming in as Melchizzy actually realizes he wants to go to the Reinhardt here in the more sort of contained, slower areas here, trying to sort of get iced tea drink here and sort of exploit the fact that there's not really that much high ground. High Noon coming in. Looks like it's just to reload, trying to get Nanorocket down, and Saguli actually is able to take him down here. Advantage here still coming in from Quantum Charge. They want to finish. They want to finish this game with even a little bit of time remaining. So maybe make it even go into the time bank here. Maybe give both teams a minute to see whether or not they can actually win this point. Dragon now coming in here from the defense in ExPandable Odyssey, trying to wipe out anybody that they can. 8 seconds left to go here as Transcendence here from Evandel will try to keep the members alive. Final fight here as Melchizzy swinging away, trying to see if he can take this Winston from Ice Tea Drink out, but it's Ice Tea Drink who gets the advantage. Bomb into the background, and Eevee takes down 2. It looks like ExPandable Odyssey have just taken this map here on the back of that bomb. Phantom Tissue struggling to get back onto the point, is able to do so as overtime starts to tick down again. D.Va Bomb now will see if they can take out anybody on the point. Rip and Pippin and Click Clack both go down. What in the world is going on? As Phantom Tissue here trying to sort of hold this point by herself, and now the fight is just sort of flipped on its head as Source coming back here on the Winston. Eevee Melchizzy here getting some kills to even it out, but Ice Tea Drink taking down Trimatar. It's just a brawl, folks. They're just fighting it off. They want to finish off this map. Graviton will capture Ice Tea Drink as Source and Salad here trying to sort of stay alive. That payload has not yet moved, and now here comes the Winston trying his best. Oh, gets immediately charged there by Melchizzy, gets taken out. Overtime ticking way too long, but it is ExPandable Odyssey here who will end up winning this match as they charge off the rest of the members of Quantum Charge and take this 4-0.
Yeah, and these high-value D.Va bombs were nuts this entire play. Just every time we saw one come out, they get 3, 4, just insane amounts of kills, especially for just sort of being in the open a lot of the time. It looks like in these high-stress scenarios, maybe the players are sort of losing track of them a little bit, but really that map was just a D.Va bomb fiesta. Just every single time one came out, you could expect something on the kill feed.
Yeah, and that was the crazy part, right? Like, you know, it was just wanting to see, like, anytime a D.Va Bomb came out, God knows who was going to be on the other end of it. Was it going to be the supports? Was it going to be a tank that was going to be charged in as soon as the bomb got pushed? It was sort of crazy there from both sides, but in the end, it is ExPandable Odyssey who takes the better of Quantum Charge. Quantum Charge here with the loss. It's a big loss, too. At 4-0, it's going to really hurt their differential, and it's going to make the upcoming weeks very, very, very scary here for Quantum Charge. Final thoughts here, Pulse, on the rest on this match between Quantum Charge and ExPandable Odyssey.
In general, both teams had spots where they looked good, but there's a lot of room, especially with these teams that are both like minors teams, like upper half of minors teams even. Coming into like the end of season, they could definitely refine some of that counter diva play that we those bombs, make sure that you really make sure you're keeping track of them.
Yeah.
And then another issue that we kept seeing from both sides all night was just in general alt tracking. That's always something you can improve on as a player, because it looked like when teams were going into take fights, they were more or less failing to account for counterplay available for the other team. So that every time they went in, it looked like, okay, we're gonna do this, and then something happened, and if that plan went awry, they didn't have contingencies or they didn't know how to react to it. And it really, like, especially on that King of the Hill map, Nepal, early on, where you'd see a shatter and then an instant counter shatter to their team, and then a lot of like support alt stacking. So if you can sort of iron out all of those details, then you can improve a lot as a team.
No, you're absolutely right. So a couple of tips there for both teams from our expert color commentator there. But in the end, this is going to be a match win for ExPandable Odyssey. They take the win by a score of 4-0. That's going to do it for Pulse and I. Stay tuned on Saturday. You can watch here on this channel as well as on GMU Overwatch. I forced Pulse to wake up at 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning to call Overwatch, folks. Yes, it will be the Virginia Community Overwatch Invitational Week 2, as Pulse and I will be calling the best university teams in Virginia. You can catch that here on my channel on Saturday. We will be simulcasting that from the GMU Overwatch channel. Little plug-in for me here at the very end and for us to do. So that's going to do it for us. Stay tuned on Wednesday on the main Overwatch channel. It is the Wednesday Overwatch Fiesta, as recorded matches from this weekend will be replayed. Pulse and I will be doing the... What did we do? We did the... Did we do...
Oh man, I forgot.
I
now.
forgot.
But we did
Yeah.
a majors game between Yes and Boosted.
Yes,
So
it is Yes
probably
and
one of
Boosted.
the higher
Yes.
average SR teams matches.
Exactly, and that match was actually a lot closer than people think it was based on the score, but we were actually very impressed by both teams in that match. We're going to be editing it a little bit and actually putting in replays, so check that out on Wednesday once we upload it. So give us a shout out what you think of what we do with the replays. How do we make it better? How do we make it tighten it up? Let us know what you think. But for Pulse, thank you very much, Pulse, for joining me today.
As always, I have a fun time casting with you, so it's kind of expected. It's become our like what, twice weekly ritual now.
Yeah. Absolutely. Twice weekly ritual and a morning Saturday ritual. So we do a lot of
man.
talking. We do a lot of talking, folks. So, but for Pulse, I am Hodo. Thank you so much for joining us for the special Owlet Overwatch Minors Division match between ExPandable Odyssey and Quantum Charge. It is a win for ExPandable Odyssey, 4-0. But we will see you next time, folks. Have a good evening.